Are you ready
Yes.
for the
Let's
millions
do
in
this.
attendance and our millions of viewers at home all around the world watching this? Do you want to start off with Bible trivia, or do you want to start off the hot topic that I picked out for the night that you don't know about, that is pretty controversial, I think, when it comes to Christians versus non-Christians?
I'll take the true and false.
Okay, we're gonna start off nice, I guess. Okay, it's not true and false.
Or
We're
whatever.
we're graduating to answering questions. And
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with some slow pitches, and
Mhm.
then we're gonna throw in some curveballs, and we'll get a little more difficult. But let's see how you do tonight, Lanka Panka. You ready?
Okay.
Who was the first woman in the book of Genesis?
Eve.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
See, slow pitch, slow pitch. You're overthinking it. Like he must be tricking me somehow, right?
Yeah.
All right. What type of fruit is mentioned in the Song of Solomon as sweet and refreshing?
Mm, is it sweet and refreshing? Is it a melon?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a clue because I said I was going to throw you some slow pitches starting out. This is a big clue. Well, I'll start off with a little clue. Actually, I don't know how to start off with like something small. I'll just say I know you'll get it when I give you this clue. What do most people mistake as the fruit in the Garden of Eden?
I know, I was gonna say apple, but I don't
Yes, it's
remember.
apples. It's
I don't
apples.
remember. I gotta read more. This is crazy.
Yes, I got you. I got you. One for two. All right. Here's an easy one. I shouldn't even ask you this. Who denied Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed in the New Testament?
Peter.
Of course. A. Let's follow it up. How many times did the crow?
Two.
The rooster crow. How many times did the
Two.
rooster
Two
crow?
times.
Yep. You remember. Okay. Here's one. What was Matthew's profession before he became the apostle?
He was a tax collector.
You got it. Good job. In the book of Revelations, what is the number associated with the beast?
666.
Yes, correct. Which Old Testament book explores the meaning of life and the best way to live?
Proverbs. What?
Ecclesi-
Ecclesiastes?
yes,
Oh, okay. Well,
yes.
that's like that's an extension of the Proverbs. It's fine.
Okay. Who was the oldest man in the Bible and how old did he live to be?
I know I know it in Russian. Mafusal.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Methuselah. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's the
You
same in
got
English.
that? You got the first.
And it
How many?
was he was living.
Let's see if you get the
It.
century
I
right. What
think
what
it's.
what what number century?
Well, I don't know about centuries, but
No.
I
No,
think it
in
was
terms of his age, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500.
800. 898. 998.
969.
968. 969.
969. That's incredible. The He lived till 969. Could you
Thousand.
imagine? Like we would be like our age right now, we'd be like infants, like babies,
Yeah.
right? We
That was back
that's so
then.
that's so incredible.
Yeah.
What were the names of Moses's brother and sister?
Miriam and Aaron.
You're good. You're good, kid. To what city does God send Jonah to deliver a message in the book of Jonah?
Nineveh.
Yep. Who is the king of Babylon who had a dream interpreted by Daniel?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yes. Oh, I thought I had you. I thought I had you, kid.
You
What
got
are
me
the
like three
first?
times, so that's enough.
What are the first three words of the Bible? First three words of the Bible.
In the beginning.
Ah, yes, you are right.
I had
Oh,
to translate it.
which book of the Bible is a collection of religious songs, poems, and prayers?
Psalms.
You're correct. Who is the first king of Israel?
Saul. S A
S, yeah, it
S
was
A.
Saul.
Yeah, King Saul.
U-L.
S
Saul.
A
You got
U
it
L.
right. I didn't
Okay.
ask you to spell it. I asked.
No, because
So
in
I'll give
Russian
it to
it's
you.
Saul. So I'm like, if
Saul.
it's
Oh,
Saul,
okay.
then it must be Saul.
In the New Testament, who is known as the apostle to Gentiles?
The Gentiles. It has to be Paul.
You got it. Ah, I
Okay.
thought I had you. I thought I got you on another one. You're. What was the name of the place where Jesus was crucified? That's a good one. That is a good one. Wow.
Golgotha.
Yep, you got that right. Wow. Who was turned into a pillar of salt for looking back at the burning cities of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Lot's wife.
Yep, you are correct. I don't even know why I'm asking you this. Which
Watch me
prophet
not
was?
get it.
What's? I bet you $1 million you get it.
Okay.
Which prophet was swallowed by a big fish?
Jonah.
Yes. In the book of Psalms, who is credited with writing many of the Psalms? We talked
King
about this.
King David. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote 13 out of the 27 Psalms.
Mhm.
I remember that. Which New Testament book focuses on love as the greatest of all virtues?
I want to say Corinthians,
Got to give a chapter.
but it's
You got to give the
really
book.
Corinthians 13,
It's
isn't it?
1 Corinthians.
Oh, sorry, 1 Corinthians. Sorry,
All right, last one.
13 or
In the Gospel of Matthew, who visits Jesus at his birth and brings gifts?
um the three kings, or it
Yeah.
wasn't three kings. It was the kings that
Yeah, I'll give you that. It was the wise men or the
the wise
magi
men.
or the
Yeah,
Magites. How do you say that in Russian?
magi, magi.
Magi. Okay. All right. So great job. I got
We
you on
didn't
a
count. I
few.
think yeah, you did.
Do you like this better than the true and false?
I think so.
Yeah. It's a little more
Because you're
difficult,
just
right?
asking, but I'm still like thinking like it's true and false, so I'm looking for like a trick, but there's no trick. It's just a question. I kind of like that better.
Okay. So let's get into the topic for the night.
Okay.
And I think it's a very important topic. Do people, whether you're Christian or non Christian, go to hell if they don't go to church regularly? Do they have to belong and be a member of a church? Do they have to go to worship regularly in order to be saved? That is the
No.
topic for the night. I've pulled some verses and we can have a discussion on that.
Um, I mean, obviously, the thief on the cross, like he kind of, you know, excludes all the like you don't have to really do anything in order to be saved. So it's only by faith.
Yeah, no, you're right on point because when I was researching some of the Bible verses in regards to whether or not you had to go to church in order to be saved, Ephesians 2, 8 through 9 says, "For the grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is the gift of God, not the result of works, so that no one may boast." How many times we hear Christians, don't, I go to church every week, it's like the Pharisees. I'm at Bible study twice a week. We're volunteering here. We're doing this. Where are you? What are you doing? Like, basically, like, I'm doing more than you on the spiritual level, and you know makes you second guess. But in Hebrews 10:25, encourages meeting together as believers, not neglecting to meet together as in the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. So this verse implies the importance of fellowship and communal worship, though it does not directly, tie it to salvation. So definitely in Hebrews, it says that I'm encouraging you.
Yeah.
You should get together. Like, it's definitely God wants us to get together on Sundays, but salvation is not on that. So I think it's important of of getting together, discussing. Like, I think this channel has been great for me because it definitely gets me thinking a lot more and researching Bible verses in order to have a better relationship with God
Yeah.
and talking about these different subjects. So curious,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this? And and the other thing is too is since you moved, I think this is a problem that many people have, including me, is how do you find a good church? Because no church is going to be perfect. So what kinds of things do you look for when you're looking for a good church that you feel good about yourself, you feel good about worshiping God, that you can go every week and you feel comfortable in yourself going to?
Yeah. So, um, well, okay. So there was like a place in the Bible where, you know, I think it was either the Pharisees or like, just the people, they said that, that we need to go somewhere to worship. And Jesus said that, why do we need to go somewhere to worship? Because like God is here with us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like it says in the Bible, if there's two or three that are gathered in my name, I am among them. You hear
Oh
me?
wow. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, we made church like this big, congregation where a bunch of people come together, 10,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever. But in reality, it's when two or three people gather together and just like worship God. So that's one
Mm.
thing. And then another thing is, yeah, the church that I like chose is because there's like sound doctrine, and it's very very important to go to church that doesn't just make you feel good, doesn't just make you like relax and like maybe the pastor is like fun or something. It has to be a church that has sound doctrine.
Mm.
And there's churches that are very legalistic and it seems like they have sound doctrine, but when you point out the legalism in the church, they would say, whatever, it worked for us, whatever, it's tradition, it,
Yeah.
it works for us. And then you say, well, in the Bible it says this, and they're like, yeah, but humans are this way, so that's why this rule is here. Basically kind of like trying to be better than God. Like, an
Yeah.
example of that is drinking. Like they'll say, no drinking, this is our church rule. And but then you're like, but in the Bible it says that as long as you're not getting drunk, that it's okay. And then they
Mm.
would say, well, a lot of people can't handle it, so we'd rather just keep the rule there.
Yeah.
But, like my church, in the beginning, the pastor said, I choose not to drink. Like, obviously, we all know that in the Bible it says that, it's okay as long as you're not getting drunk,
Mm.
but I choose not to drink. just because, it hasn't done well for me in the past, and that's it. And me and my family, we just said that,
Yeah.
and you can do that. You can choose this, or you can, have a beer, once in a while, whatever you choose. But
Of course, and I think that's with anything too. Is like it doesn't only apply to drinking. Like gluttony is consuming too much food. Where if we were 300 pounds or 400 pounds, we're consuming too much food, and that's
gluttony, yeah,
that falls under the same realm as drinking too much for drunkenness. You know.
yeah.
Um,
And he also, like, he calls out the couples that are not married that are living together, like, almost every Sunday. He'll say, if you
where
need
is
to get
this? Is this
married,
the is this the one
Indian
you're
Rocks,
at?
Indian Rocks,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
He's like, if you need to get married, come to me after church. We'll arrange all that. You guys, like, you should not be living in sin. They also believe that it's by faith alone, just like it says in the Bible, because
Hmm.
some churches will say, yeah, it's by faith alone, but if you do this, you do that, you do this, then that's it. You're not a true Christian. They don't say that. They say that that's between you and God, but you should be following the Bible. And yeah, there are fruits that you need to show in order for you yourself to have like this assurance that you're saved. And so, yeah, so that's like what I just feel like everybody needs. Everybody needs a biblical church.
Hmm.
Because all
Yeah.
these legalistic churches, they claim to be biblical, but there's so much tradition, so much like random like people things that it's just like, no, you're like even worse than the ones that allow like all this sin. Because
Yeah.
some churches are like, oh, it says in the Bible, um, to be sober minded, but they just go crazy in church, like they start dancing and everything, and it's like, I mean, yeah, worship,
Mhm.
but like let's like keep it down a bit. Or it says that you're not supposed to talk in tongues unless there's an interpreter, but they talk in tongues anyways. There's like no.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think one of the one of the questions I want to present too is that so oftentimes that people put the pastors and the associate pastors and preachers on such a high pedestal if they find out something about them or something about their kids that they did, it's almost like, oh, I can't listen to anything this guy tells me because he doesn't live the life. So I'm not going to listen to anything he says, or this is the wrong church, and whatever he says, it's not with God. Like almost like there's certain Christians that are just trying to find like the perfect human being or the perfect church, and I don't believe that there's such a thing. And it even says in the Bible that God speaks through a lot of people, whether they're bad, they're good, they're everything in between, and even a lot of dumb people that you may say that, hey, I have no respect for this person, but when they start speaking, you may hear God in that message, as it says in the Bible. So,
Exactly, yeah. He uses even like what the devil wants for bad, he uses for good. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, all right, that was great trivia, a great topic. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit subscribe and notifications. And if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, please put it in the comments section. So
Okay.
thanks,
Bye.
Yelena. Have a good night and God bless.
Yep. And remember, everything is possible with God.
There you go. Amen.
Oh, were you still recording?